All right, let's get into this. This is 9.3. Learning target is I will write linear equations in standard, slope-intercept, and point-slope form. Write that down. Take a minute. Go ahead, fill out this warm-up. You need to test some points. We'll get through it. I'm assuming you're going to pause it a lot, guys. So if you see me kind of going, I'm assuming you paused it, I'm assuming you paused it. You know what I'm saying? To which I am assuming you paused it already. So we're going to get right into this. Okay. What is my slope? Well, we just need to find two lattice points. Remember, lattice points are grid points, right? Where it crosses that grid line perfectly. See one there, see one there. I'm going to say up 2, and I'm going up, so it's positive over 1, rise over run, so that's 2 over 1, which equals 2. Okay, I see a lattice point here and here, so that's down 1, 2, 3, so negative 3 over 1. That's negative 3 over 1 is negative 3. Boom. Right here, if you're in, this is standard form. Turns out your slope is always going to be your negative a over b. This is my a, this is my b, and this is my c. That's going to be negative 2, right? Because it's a negative 2 for a. All over my b value, which is 3. That turns into a positive, so that's positive 2/3. Right here, same deal, right? Negative a over b. Oh, wait. Oh, my goodness. I wasn't paying attention to this one. My x's and y's are backwards. You always got to have your x first. 3x minus 2y equals 4. So that would have changed everything. That would have made this. Woo, let's X that out. That was so close. Almost did a wrong answer live on air. Hey, now you can watch me make corrections. That would have been my a. Negative a is going to be my negative 3. Negative 3 over b, which is negative 2. Still going to end up being a positive, but it's going to be a positive 3/2. So my slope is actually 3/2. Okay? Over here, x is first, boom, boom. Because that's going to be ax plus by. So this is my a. This is my b. And this is my c. And I'm going to have negative a is going to be negative 6. All over my b of negative 3. Up top becomes a positive, right? But I've got a positive over a negative, so that's going to become negative. 6 over 3 is 2, so that's going to be negative 2. All right, now, to solve it this way, we just have to do the whole y2 minus y1, so negative 4 minus 5, all over my x2 minus x1, 3 minus 2, which equals, what, negative 9 over 1, so that's just negative 9. And then last right here, we're going to have 5 minus negative 1. Right, put that minus there, all over 7 minus negative 1. 7 minus negative 1. Which those become what? A plus. And I get 6 over 8, which is, simplifies to 3/4. Boom. It's a good warm-up, finding slope. Now we're going to talk about 3 different forms. You kind of already saw at least 2 of them. We've got point-slope form, which is that y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. This is my favorite. It's the easiest to put it into when you have a point and a slope. No math required. And then from here, you simply solve for y and you become slope-intercept. And then you can actually, as long as you get rid of fractions and move that mx over here, then you can turn it into standards. So these are the good progressions of form. Point slope. M is the slope, rise over run. X1, Y1 is the point on the line. We'll get into some examples on that. Slope intercept is just that you're used to. The most y equals mx plus b. M is the slope, rise over run. B is the y intercept. Standard form is ax plus by equals c. We always want our x term to be positive. No decimals and no fractions are allowed. A, b, and c have a greatest common factor of, oh, I put GFC. It should have been GCF, huh? That's funny. Of 1. In other words, we've simplified it as much as possible. Okay? Something else I like to say is on here, we know our slope equals negative a over b, which I said it earlier in the warm-up. I also know that I'll put a little point here. My x-intercept is at the point where y equals 0 but the value of x is going to be our c divided by a. And for our y-intercept, we have 0 at x, but our value of y is going to be c divided by b. Just kind of nice little things to know there. Okay. So now it's going to tell us to write this in standard form. So we want to take this to standard form again. There can't be any fractions. I need to multiply through by a number that's going to get rid of both 3 and 2, and that's going to be 6. I'm going to multiply this whole thing by 6. Remember, I do it times each term, right? So I'm going to end up with what? 6y equals, 3 goes in 3 once, goes into 6 twice. 2 times 2 is 4, 4x. 2 goes into 2 once, goes into 6 3 times. I have 3 times 1. Plus 3, I'm going to subtract that 4x over, minus 4x, boom, right there. Negative 4x plus 6y equals 3. Can't have x negative, so we need to multiply the whole thing by negative 1. And when I do that, we're going to end up with positive 4x minus 6y equals negative 3. Now, this will be about the last time you see me actually write the times negative 1. I usually just go straight from here and say, hey, everything's opposite, and boom. This is our standard form. Okay. Now, what about right here? I need to write this in slope-intercept form. So slope-intercept form just means we solve for y. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go plus 18, plus 18. And I'm actually going to change around how I write this. I'm going to write my 3y on the left side. And that's all I was left with over here, so that equals, and I'm going to have 6x plus 18. I just switch sides with it. And I'm going to divide everything by 3. I divide each term, distribute that division. I end up with y equals 2x plus 6. There's my slope-intercept form. And I know that my slope is 2, and my y-intercept is at 6. Look at that. Just ways to convert these guys. Okay. Let's take a look down here, y'all. Says tickets, the equation 3y minus 10x equals 156 can be used to represent ticket prices at an amusement park, where x is the number of years after 215 and y is the price of the ticket in dollars. Write the equation in slope-intercept form. Okay, so we get 3y minus 10.5x equals 156. Okay, first thing first, I'm going to add 10.5x to both sides. And since I wanted it in the y equals mx plus b form, I always want to put my x term before the y-intercept term. So as I solve this, you'll notice I'm going to just, it's gone, equals, instead of 156 first, I'm going to do 10.5x first, and then it's a positive 156, so plus 156. Last, divide everything by 3. When you do that, we get that y equals 3.5x plus, what did I find it to be? 52. Boom. Now we're going to use this to follow along with some slides, and I do want to show these to you. Okay, so again, this was 3.5x plus 52. Remember, 52 is our start value or our y-intercept. So the parameter blank represents the rate at which the ticket prices increase each year. Slope is always a rate, so 3.5. Thus, the ticket prices increased by what? Well, that would be $3.50 each year. Okay? The last parameter is going to be 52. So the parameter 52 represents the ticket prices in year 0. Because X represents the number of years after 2015. Ticket prices were $52 in 2015. So that's what they tell you. Remember, we're adding each year to the ticket prices, $3.50 a year, but it started out at $52 per ticket in 2015. All right? Let's check that out, make sure we're right. Yeah, and the uncomfortable. Okay, so that was just taking a look and seeing what each of these components mean. So this was the original price in 2015, and it raises at $3.50 a year. Now let's go to this back page right here. Okay, the Montgomery, Alabama, or I'm sorry, Felipe is renting a moving truck to move from Montgomery, Alabama to Tallahassee, Florida. The rental company charges $29.95 flat fee for the use of the truck, plus 97 cents per mile that it is driven. We're driving 210 miles. Estimate total cost. Well, if I'm estimating, I'm going to estimate that it's going to be $1 per mile and $30 flat fee for my estimation. So then I'm going to have 210 times 1 and plus 30, which is just going to be 210 plus 30 or $240. That's my estimation, just without pennies and cents. If I wanted an equation that represents the total cost, then what I need to do is this. I know that my y is going to equal, what's my rate? My rate is 97 cents per mile, so that's going to be 0.97x plus, what was the flat fee? The start value was $29.95. And if I want to find the actual cost, I just need to plug that in. So I'm going to have y equals 0.97 times 210 miles plus $29.95. And this is going to end up equaling $233.65. Not too bad, not too shabby. All right. If I ever move too fast again, just pause it, catch up. You'll do great. I'll talk about point slope form. This is my favorite version. Are you ready for this? Point slope is that whole y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Here's what it comes down to. Whatever your actual y value is, write the opposite up here. What your actual x value is, write the opposite up here, and your slope just goes in. So in other words, I'm going to have y, since it's negative 6, I'm going to write plus 6, equals my slope of 7 times x. Instead of positive 2, I'm going to write minus 2. That's done. We're done. That's it. When I give you 2 points, the only added complexity is this. I got to find the slope. We know how to find slope. We just circle y2 and point back to y1. And we subtract it. So I'm going to have my slope equals 38 minus 14 all over my x2 minus x1, negative 2 minus 4. Well, 38 minus 14 is 24, and negative 2 minus 4 is negative 6, so our slope is going to be negative 4. That's a start, okay? Now it says to find 2 equations in point slope form. I'm going to find the first one and let you find the second one. The first one I'm going to find using the first point, which is 414. So for 414, we just plug it straight in. Y, and then the opposite of 14 is negative 14. Look at that. Y minus 14 equals my slope, negative 4, times x, and the opposite of my x is negative 4. I'm done. I want you guys to do the same thing for negative 238. Ready, set, go. You really had enough time right there to probably write it down if you know what you're doing, but if you don't, pause it. But it's just going to be y, the opposite of y is negative 38, equals negative 4 times x, and the opposite of negative 2 is plus 2. Look at that. And voila, we're done. Okay, mathletes, with that said, peace out.